I'm with Dell'Oro Group. I'm Dave Bolan. Dell'Oro Group is I will call it a boutique research firm. We focus on doing research for the network and IT industry as well as the telecom industry, and that's our focus. The wireless packet core and the voice core analysts for Dell'Oro Group. And I thought I'd share just a few slides from some of my research. If we, I guess I have the clicker here. Let's see. You go this way. There we go. So a little bit from my wireless packet core 5-year forecast, just to give you a little bit. One of the things is how would we evolve from the 4G core to the 5G core? And in the 3GPP standards, they've given us a couple ways to go from the EPC core to the 5G core. And you know, we have the standalone configuration, and for the 5G core, that's referred to commonly as option 2, where if I have a 5G cell site present, I'll go straight to the 5G RAN and go to the 5G core. If there's no 5G present, then I would use the 4G network if my handset can do both, or my user device. Another option that's becoming very popular in the United States, every operator's picked this architecture to start with what's known commonly as option 3X. It's a dual connectivity approach where the 5G RAN is tethered to the 4G RAN. And you see the control signals and the user signals going between those two, and the control plane from the UE is going to the 4G RAN. In this dual connectivity approach, the 4G RAN is the master node, and the 5G RAN is the secondary node. And you're still using the 4G core. And this is called the 5G non-standalone architecture, that the industry wanted to be able to bring up 5G RAN sooner than later before the 3GPP standards were finalized. So this is an approach some of the operators are taking. Some operators will go straight with option 2, and some will go with option 3X, and then maybe eventually option 2, or will eventually option 2, or they may choose to go to option 7 or option 4 next. We're not sure this is going to happen. It's been in development in the standards. This won't be finalized. A little typo, it's not 2108, it's 2018 is when this will be finalized in the standards. So you could start going with still keep the dual connectivity strategy, but start migrating now to the 5G core. In the first case, option 7, the 4G RAN is still a master node. And then finally in option 4, the 5G RAN becomes the master node. But you can still use both RANs at the same time, balancing the load if you are in a data-intensive environment. And that's some of the flexibility that gives you, having this dual connectivity approach. So just looking at the forecast for what we see, the blue bars being the evolved packet core, in the traditional packet core, the 2G and 3G core, you see it declining over time. And then you start seeing the 5G core in the red starting to show up, a little blip in 2019. And we get into 2020 and 2021, and then you see the 5G core becoming a much larger part of the market. But the EPC keeps growing. There's still a lot of demand for the packet core. Now, with these option 3X that I just talked about, it's the first time we've taken a core product and made it forward compatible. So we're taking a 4G core and making it forward compatible to handle 5G temporarily until you want to migrate fully to the 5G core. So some of this evolved packet core could be running on a 5G core in some of these future years. But you will have 4G subscribers still needing to be serviced either on the 5G core or the 4G core. Looking at how much of the network will be NFV versus non-NFV. And my definition here of NFV is cloud-native VNFs. And cloud-native VNFs is defined as having a shared data layer, stateless design, having the ability to do the automation and provide all the flexibility that people want to have in the network, especially for the 5G service-based architecture that we're looking at. And I think that's, okay, one more just to show you on a regional basis how we look at the 5G core and its deployment, just give you a snapshot there as well. It starts out with North America and Asia Pacific, and they stay the dominant users to begin with, and then EMEA eventually kicks in 2021 and 2022 with some significant growth there. So the 5G core is coming. It's going to happen, and NFV, Network Function Virtualization, is really driving the need to move to cloud-native VNFs for us to take advantage of the capabilities and the promises that 5G has been promising to date.